Hey everyone, welcome to another video from Dave, Head of Customer Success at CX Expert, specializing in Zendesk optimization, implementation, and just generally giving your customers the service that they deserve. Today we're going to be looking at what is known as the Relay App in Zendesk, and basically what that means is that Zendesk have now given us the ability to send outbound marketing or utility campaigns through a WhatsApp message. So we can use this app to send a single WhatsApp to a multitude of users, and we can put what we want in it, and when they reply, it creates a ticket. If they reply, it creates a ticket in our instance. So I'm going to start with the absolute basics of the app. Once we go and download the Relay app, it's free on the Zendesk Marketplace. We're going to find the settings in your admin center over here. So if we go Zendesk support apps, and this part is crucial. Without it, you cannot continue. You won't be able to open the app. You can see I've got a lot of apps over here. But if we look for Relay, we're going to see that we need a whole bunch of information over here. And when it loads, I'll show you what that means. So number one, title, that's something we get to decide on. Sunshine Conversation App ID. To create an app ID in your admin center, go to Conversations API. A reminder, this is only available to those of us on Professional, Enterprise, and Enterprise Plus. So we'll create a Conversation API, test, and create it this way. And what you'll need to do is just select this app ID over here, and we'll need this screen, so don't close it too quickly. So we'll copy this, put it into our app ID over there. And in terms of a Sunshine Conversation API authorization key, we're going to need our token, the key ID, and our secret to create an API authorization key. And I'll share a link on where you can create that for you on one of Zendesk's helpful Help Center articles. Then your namespace. So your namespace will be what you get from your Meta platform. Message blackout you can leave. Your some domain you can get from your URL. And these are all general app information and different settings we can change over there. So once it's set up, you'll be able to click into it and see a screen that looks like this. And what I'm going to be taking you through first is just how to create a template. Now, what is a template? Meta is quite strict as to what we send people on WhatsApp. It's the same service that hosts people's friends and family. So they are quite strict with what we allow people to send outbound or out of a service like Zendesk. So what that means is we're not allowed to talk about anything that's potentially adult related or anything that's generally not kid friendly. We're not allowed to mention things like betting or gambling or anything to do with financial services. But what happens is we submit a template through Relay, which I'll show you now, and Meta will generally approve or deny or decline that template. They say within 24 hours, but it normally takes just a couple of minutes. And the ones that have been approved will show up in green, and the ones that haven't and have been rejected will show up in red. We can only send outbound messages in a template, but we can put in variables. So that's something we'll look at in a second. So from the home screen over here, we're going to click on Create. We're going to call it whatever we want to. You'll notice that we're not allowed to use caps, and any spaces are filled with an underscore. When it says Select Integration, we'll select the number that we want it to come from that's been integrated with our Zendesk account. In this case, we have a support line, CX Experts WhatsApp, and then we have a demo number that's called CX Experts Demo, and this name is exactly the same name as you'll find in your messaging channels on Zendesk itself. So in this case, I will choose CX Experts WhatsApp, choose Next. It's going to ask us for some more information. The category in this case, marketing, if it's an outbound marketing campaign, or utility. So, transactional things like your order's on its way, or your refund's been processed, or please fill in the survey for us. Anything like that counts as a utility. We'll select a language. In this case, I will just select English, not British or American. And when it comes to a header, we can put in text, which will show up at the top, and we'll see a preview of what's happening on the right-hand side. We can also put in an image, in which case we will not be able to upload an image. We'll have to put in a public URL of that image. And what I have done to do that is, just to get around that, is if you go into your guide admin, go have a look at your building section. You'll need to upload your image to a help center whose code you can update. So we'll click in and we'll click Edit Code. And then we'll want to just put it in as an asset over here. So I will find a file that I can bring up quickly, and I'll just put in our logo because I like our logo. I think it's a lot of fun. So let's search and let's put in this one over here. So I'll put it in and we might get an error. There's an error. The file name cannot have any weird things, any weird characters in it. So I'm just going to remove this and call it logo. I'm going to rename it to the word logo, and I will then try and bring that in. And there you go. There's the logo. I can right click and go copy image address, which if we put into our browser, will show us the image. That's how we know it's public, it's accessible to the world. Go on to Relay App, put in an image, and you'll see this image will show up in your preview over here. And in the body, you can put in whatever you want to. So I'll say this is an order update. Now we may want to make it a bit personal though, so we are able to say hi. And then what I normally do is we can put placeholders in example format, or we can put in the number 1 or the number 2, as long as it has 2 curly brackets on either side. We can replace these with dynamic information when we actually send the template, which we'll get to in a second. This is an order update. Your order is on the way. Then we also have the ability to put either a call to action or quick reply. Call to action is basically just a button. So if I want to put a button to a link here, for example, I'll say click here or something like that. You'll see it pops up in the same way it will pop up in WhatsApp over there. And the URL, I'll put www.cxexperts.co.za. That is our website. Feel free to go and browse and check us out. I'll then go next. And now I am ready to submit my template. As soon as I have submitted, we will get taken back to the home screen, where we will see that the little pearl or button is in yellow, meaning that Meta is on its way to approve this template for us. Only approved templates can be sent out. So we want to make sure that it is kid-friendly, that we're not referencing gambling or betting or any sort of financial service. So let's wait then for this template to be approved. All right, so once our template has been approved, it will show up in green here for us to use. And the next part of this process is building an audience, building a campaign audience that you want to send out to. And just a reminder, we can only do and send out proactive WhatsApps through the Relay app to users that already exist in Zendesk. And don't worry, that's not a train smash. I'm going to show you how to either create or update users within Zendesk using my import template over here. We can import almost anything into Zendesk, whether it's an end user, an organization, agent, drop-down fields, or a custom object using this single template of mine. If you'd like the template, please reach out, info@cxexperts.co.za. Happy to share this with you for free. And then just another reminder that this template allows us to create users within Zendesk. If the user already exists and has this email address, it will simply update that user. So if you ever want to upload or update in bulk, this is how you would do it. And then just a final point here before we actually do it is that the unique identifier in Zendesk, in our case, is the email address. So make sure you have someone's name, their phone number, because we're sending to a phone number, their email address, and then the tag that you want to attach to their profile. The tag is what we're going to use as the single factor that we look for to build an audience in a relay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to populate all of this. I'm going to download this as a CSV, and we will download this as a CSV. Export to, there it is. I'm going to head to import users in my admin center. Just over here, import users. And I'm going to make sure that this is unticked. I'm going to update existing users or create if they don't already exist. In this case, they do already exist. Here they are. And I'm going to select my file if I can find it. There it is. And as soon as I'm ready, I'm going to click import. For any import that you do in Zendesk, you will get an email to the account linked to the seat that you're signed in on with a breakdown of how that import went, what it was able to and what it wasn't able to, with a brief description of why it wasn't able to. In this case, we're importing 3 users, so these should come through pretty quickly. If not, we'll carry on. We won't wait for it. But this is how you would build your audience. Let's have a look at Lane, for example. Let's see if she has got the right tags on her profile. So we're just going to refresh here. Shanice, not yet. Dave. There it is, WhatsApp campaign, and then Lene will have WhatsApp campaign as well. And I'm assuming Shanice is just taking a bit of time to upload. So once we have our users tagged, we can start our campaign process. So I want to send, for example, a seminar follow-up. I will click send in Relay. I will select the Seminar feedback template. I want to send it from this number. Next, we'll go into field mapping. If we would like to enter a URL for our image, now is when we would do it. So I'll go to guide and I'm going to choose an absolutely random image for us to go into. Remember, previously we hosted these images in our guide or our help center in the Copenhagen theme, because that's where we had access to edit the code and therefore view the assets. Let's go put a picture of me in. Why not? There's a big old picture of Dave. So I'll copy the image address again. I'm going to put it in there. And now when we get to our different variables, so we set variables here. In this case, the variable is just called Michelle. We can call it the number 1, or we can call it example. But wherever I see the variable Michelle, I would like to pull in the static value, which we can have the same value for all WhatsApps, or we can pull in the dynamic value, and we can use something we have saved against the user in Zendesk. In this case, I just want to use the name to make it a bit more personable. I'm going to go next. And now is when we actually look to include our audience. So I'll use the methodology they have here. I'm looking for the tag WhatsApp test, I think. Was that the one I used? WhatsApp campaign. You can go and copy it from the user's profile. Copy it, and I'm going to go put it in here. WhatsApp campaign, and then you'll see that I have my audience. I can manage my audience. It'll say, I can send it to Shanice. These are invalid. Why is it invalid? Not 100% sure. But in this case, I'll just show you how to send it to Shanice, the only one we have that's valid. In this case, it may be because the numbers on these profiles are not valid, not in the correct format. I think we need the plus when we're importing from a sheet. It's okay, we'll carry on. So I will click done. And as soon as that happens, I will click next. And the final thing we do is to send. We will click send over here, at which point it will send the proactive WhatsApp from your account into that user's pocket where they can view it on their mobile device. Once you do click send, you will see a status as to how many it has been able to send. It might be important to note that at this point, tickets are not created for outbound WhatsApps. However, if they do reply, they will be met with your bot if you have one on your bot, or just straight in, and it'll create a new ticket. So if they do have any questions about what you're sending out to them, they will be able to reply. You'll be able to service them because you're using a number that's already coming into Zendesk for inbound support. That about wraps up the Relay app from start to finish. There are a lot of components here. There are a lot of parts to think about. It's not I would like it to be, but from the beginning, we know that we're creating a template, we're sending it to Meta for approval. Once it has been approved, we're generating our audience using the import functionality here, which we can also go and do manually out of interest by adding tags to a user's profile. Once we have that, we can generate our audience. We can go back and have a look how we do that. Tags, and we'll click send, and that's how you send outbound WhatsApps with Zendesk. If you're interested in hearing more or want some advice with your Zendesk and how to do things, and want a free health check, please do reach out to us, info@cxexperts.ca, or you can reach out to me on LinkedIn under Dave Hobbs. Thank you for watching and have a great day or night further.